Well, Alistair, welcome back to the limelight. You've been out of the picture for a little while, but it's good to be back on the cricket field and ready for a new season.
Yeah, not so much the limelight, but yeah, it's I don't quite feel like cricketing weather today, but it's always exciting time to start the season.
So much has been made of England's winter and the burnout, the itinerary, and the hard graft they had for 5 months. You, of course, you had the incredible starts in the Ashes and then a quiet time. I mean, how weird has it been for you watching England carrying on through the World Cup and putting your feet up? Yeah,
it's been frustrating in one way. I'd desperately like to have been a part of that, but unfortunately I wasn't picked. So it was a good time for me to get away from cricket for a month or so, and then come beginning of February, get back in the gym and then start working as hard as I can, and we're going to try and improve. So it's I feel ready to go.
Can you really improve on the 766 runs in an Ashes series? I mean, that's something very special for forevermore, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think the challenge is to try and repeat that now. Is to try and keep practicing so I can keep those skills as consistent as I can in the test match arena, and try and repeat that tempo that I played in, and that's the challenge I've now got.
How did you fill your time? I mean, everyone's talked about England's itinerary. They went off to Canberra in a bus the morning after that Sydney game. You got on a plane home. I mean, you must have had an awful lot of time to sit and think about what you achieved this winter.
Not really. Life goes on, doesn't it? Been on the farm for a bit, so that keeps a lot of keeps you busy, and then obviously bits and bobs go along with that. But also important that come start of February after 3 weeks off, that I got it back in the gym, and it's amazing how hard you can work when you have like a month off. So it's it's been good for me, and hopefully that'll bear fruit later on in the summer.
Objectively speaking, how did you assess your teammates' performance in that World Cup, given everything they went through, with the highs of the Ashes through to the difficulties of getting through India?
Well, look, it's an incredibly tough schedule to be asked of them. I mean, I know how tired I felt after those 3 months, or just under 3 months in the Ashes, and then to carry on playing cricket like that was an extremely tough ask to do. So it wasn't surprising that those standards we set in the Ashes weren't probably kept up. It's almost impossible to do that. But that was a challenge that they could have done. I'm sure Andy Flower and Andy Strauss tried to ask them, but you could see the lads were tired. It was even from afar. So look, it was an extremely tough schedule, but probably the best two sides in their home conditions and those subcontinent conditions were in the final, and that's probably understandable.
Have you had a chance to catch up with them yet, or are they all in hiding after this winter?
Probably a few of them in hiding. I spoke to a couple of lads, and look, it'll be interesting to see what they're saying.
Looking ahead to this summer, obviously got Sri Lanka and India, of course. So the team you made your debut against got your 100, of course. Big series, both of them coming up. Yeah,
I mean the two finals of the World Cup. It'd be great. Another good step on it, as I said, for England. The challenge is we want to become world #1 side, and to do that we're going to have to keep beating sides, and the next two sides are very tough sides to do that.
India, of course, beats England at home in 2007. As you say, they've just won the World Cup. They really do look like the #1 in all formats at the moment. I mean, do you think that they're going to be the biggest challenge you face, arguably even bigger than Australia?
Well, Australia with all the history and stuff is an extremely big challenge. But yeah, look, we got Sri Lanka first. We need to focus first on Sri Lanka, and they're extremely tough side as well. So look, it's a really exciting summer of cricket, and to follow that after the Ashes is a fantastic thing to be involved in.
Lots of speculation about futures of guys in one-day cricket. Andrew Strauss, conceivably, I mean, it's all speculation at this stage, but there may be a vacancy coming into that one-day side. Are you ready to take over in all formats? Sorry, to take over as an opener in all formats?
Well, I'd love to be involved in the one-day side. I've said that for the last 2 years, and try and cement my place in that. So that is an exciting time. Look, we don't know quite what's going to happen with selection and stuff, and I just got to start the season well with Essex and score runs and keep my form high. So I've got all the chances of selection.
Just finally, I mean, looking back on that performance in Australia, I mean, what were the high points for you on the field and off the field for that matter?
That's the high point for me. It was just winning that final moment in Sydney when Chris Tremley got that wicket. That fear, that feeling of total satisfaction and in what we achieved, and that feeling, no more nerves, no more pressure, all gone in just an enjoyment. It was a feeling when you hope you compete a couple of times in your life, and that was a magical moment.